It was August the 9th of 2000, a little over a year ago. And we had just moved into Powhatan about 10 days ago. And as I typically do on the weekends, went out for a bike ride. I'd been 20 miles in Powhatan the day before, trying to get to know the area. So I went out and that day and went the opposite way and got about 7 miles from my home and came to top to an intersection. I went across the street, laid my bike down, and dropped dead of cardiac arrest. And the way I understand it after that, I don't have any memory really the week before until 3 weeks after. But three bystanders stopped at that point. One person called 911. The other two started performing CPR. I was actually blocking the intersection to Annie's home where she was having a party for her daughter. And somebody called and said, I can't get in because of that. So actually Annie heard that and had, I guess, intuition and came out to the scene and basically took over the scene at that point. And with her and another lady performed CPR on me for 11 minutes. EMTs then arrived, and because of Annie's experience, she was able to articulate to them exactly what the situation was to expedite what they were doing. And at that point, they, over the next 22 minutes, they shocked my heart 3 times, and I finally got a heartbeat at that point. The interesting part was that I understand normally after about a 20-minute span, they call it. And Annie was there insisting that they try again, and they gave me basically another 2 minutes of life. From that, my heart came back, and she saved my life from that perspective. So she's a very special lady to me and my family.
I just want to say I'm incredibly thankful. I know that truly she was an angel on earth that day, and if it hadn't been for Annie, my husband would not be here today. And words just will never be able to express that gratitude that we have. And I know that she came on that scene, took charge, and she's the reason that he is alive, that we have my husband, father of our children, son. I mean, he's an incredible human being, and his life was saved because of her, and the good Lord put her in place that day. There's no doubt in my mind. I'm so grateful. She's an amazing individual, and I haven't known her that long, but I know enough about her that there is no doubt she took charge that day and made it happen. I'm just so thankful to her.
Oh, absolutely. God had a plan to put me at that intersection to be saved by Annie and a lot of good people. And
I remember that day. It was a going away party for my daughter who was going to college, and a couple people called and said, we can't get into your neighborhood. It looks like there's somebody laying in the road, and it's just chaotic. And I had a gut feeling that somebody needed my help, that something was very wrong. So I got in the car, and my daughter drove me to the end of the road, and sure enough, there was Stan lying there, and somebody was giving him chest compressions, and I came on the scene and kind of took over. And the rest is history. We worked him for quite a while until EMS arrived, and when they did, I knew a few people on the truck and started asking him to get this, to get that, and insisted that they keep working him. I just knew he was going to be okay. I just knew intuitively that he was athletic. I could take in the scene and see that he had been riding his bike, that he was fit, that this was just a cardiac problem that could be solved. And I did. I insisted that they keep working him, and they did. They were very gracious, and I'm very grateful for that. I feel very grateful and blessed that I am able to be a paramedic, that I learned those skills because they are part of who I really am as a person, and they never turn off. There's never a time when I don't feel like I'm not on duty. And so I'm grateful to be a part of Stan's life and his family's life, and able to be able to use the knowledge that I've been given. So in 2001, I had a brand new baby, and on day 3 of her life, she was unresponsive and blue, and I picked her up out of her swing, and I was mortified. I had no training. I didn't know CPR. I knew nothing. I was a stay-at-home mom. She was my third. And I said a quick prayer, asked for guidance, and was able to resuscitate her by giving her some breaths. And EMS arrived, and and I spent a week in the PICU with her, and she's a wonderfully healthy young woman now. She's 19. But that, while I was sitting in the hospital with her in that PICU for a week, I made a promise to myself that I would not only learn CPR, but be teaching it to other mothers like myself, because I never wanted to feel like that again, and I felt like knowledge was power. So in all my seeking, learning, trying to figure out where to go take a class, I found VCU's program and started taking the CPR class there, and became a teacher by January of that year, and started teaching, and then became friends and allies with ODEMSA, who loaned me equipment when I needed it to teach, and then at the insistence or encouragement of Heidi, I took an EMT basic class, which was amazing, and I felt was one of the best education I ever received. And then I just went on from there to become a paramedic, and then loved it so much and spent 10 years in Petersburg doing 911. Have been able to develop that, and decided to become a nurse, and now a nurse practitioner. So it really flung open windows and doors for me in my life. A terrible situation ended up turning out to be one of the best situations of my whole life, and now I'm able to help other families too. I certainly don't feel like I deserve it. I feel like there's so many other medics out there and providers out there who do things every single day. But again, I think it'll remind me of who I am and what I stand for, and that I'm always a medic, no matter what. I'm always going to serve other people, and that will never go off duty. It's always a reminder. I keep Stan's gift on my badge always as a reminder of who I am and what my commitment is, even when there are bad days, when you feel overwhelmed at work, when you've had a bad call, when you've had a bad experience. You remember why you started in EMS in the first place, why you decided to learn more and get that knowledge and gather it, and what my purpose in life was. And it was really to serve other people, and I want to continue that for the rest of my life.
Just that, I mean, what Annie did and the other bystanders there, but for Annie to come out of her home and to do what she did, that's not something that's taught. That's something that's a God-given talent and something that's ingrained in someone. And Annie's an amazing person for what she does for everybody, and obviously for my family. And as Tammy said, we can't ever repay her for what she did, and just to be selfless like she was, to do what she did. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.